So this video is on the slope-intercept form for the equation of a line, and right in front of you right here is in fact the generic form of the slope-intercept form. And the reason why it's called the slope-intercept form is because those two items, or at least portions of them, are right in front of you as the equation is in this form. So this is the slope, denoted by the variable m, and this is the y-coordinate of the y-intercept. So it itself is not the y-intercept. The intercept is a point, and so the intercept would be 0, b. In this case, for the equation, for the line that's graphed over to the left here, I have a y-intercept of 0, 5, which means my b is equal to 5. And if I were to try to write the equation for this line, I would get I would have to calculate the following: the slope. And of course, from the previous video or from your previous knowledge, the slope is the change in y divided by the change in x. And if I know, you'd have to know another point or be able to discern another point from looking at the graph. This one would be 4, 0. And so if I calculate, let's say my y2 is this point, which makes this the x2, y1, and x1. So I'm going to say 5 minus 0 divided by 0 minus 4. This looks like it's going to work out because it's going to give me a negative slope. And so I can write the equation as y equals negative 5/4 x plus 5. And so that's the slope-intercept form for the equation of slope-intercept form of the equation for that line. So we have another little exercise here. Sometimes you're going to be given an equation in another form, in this case in the standard form, and you're asked to change that into slope-intercept form. So what you would do is make sure you have everything but the y term on one side of the equation. In this case, I'm going to do that by subtracting 3x from both sides. Why? Because I want this term to be 0. So I'm just left with 2y on the left-hand side. That gives me negative 3x plus 7 on the right-hand side. And here I want to divide both sides, or I prefer to say divide all terms by 2. Why? Because I want this 2 divided by 2 to become a 1, so I'm left with just a y. That gives me negative 3 halves as my coefficient of x plus the 7 halves. And as you can tell, that means that my slope is equal to negative 3 halves, and the y-coordinate of my y-intercept, my b value, is equal to 7 halves, which tells me that my y-intercept is equal to the point, or is the point 0, 7 halves. And that's it. Hope it helps. Bye.